welcome to RiversEdge Today. I'm Marianne Fossey, the producer, and I'm filling in for our host, Dr. David J. Rogers. We have an amazing guest with us today. She is an anointed woman of God, a Christian author. I am so blessed to have Lynn Benefield with us. Great to have you, Lynn.
Thank you. Good to be here.
My goodness, I don't know you very well, but man, you're in my heart already. Your testimony, your life story, what the Lord has done with a very tragic situation in your life, and how He's taken ashes and it's beautiful now. He's taken something that was so devastating, and you are such an encouragement to so many women.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about you, Lynn.
Okay, love to. Well, Tim and I were married for 19 years, and between us, we had 5 children. We still have 5 children, 10 grandchildren, and actually one great-grandchild now.
Wow.
And so we were married for 19 years, and I was a Bible teacher. He served on the prison ministry in our local church. And then on December the 1st, of 2017, the Lord called Tim home, and it was unexpected. We had Thanksgiving the week before, and so by Monday he wasn't feeling well. Went to the doctor, and he ended up in the ER, and we spent, hours going back and forth, and he had the flu. By Friday, he was in heaven. And so it happened very quickly. And I didn't even know that he was passing away. But God used that time. One of the last things that Tim said to me was, "Please write a book." And I just didn't know what he was saying that for. Actually, I had been writing and journaling for 30 years, but I didn't picture them like he did. And so it carried on for days, of course, just continued to write and journal prayers. And it actually started a ministry, a book, just based on the devastation that I was going through.
Wow. I'm, first of all, sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
I can't relate. I've lost family members, parents, brothers, niece. But, losing your husband, I've been married for almost 25 years. I can't even imagine what you're going through. But I will say that you have been an enormous blessing in our pastor's wife life. Joyce Mitchell is an amazing woman of God.
She is.
And as many know, Pastor Eddie passed away a year ago, and Joyce and I are good friends. But there was always an area that I couldn't really comprehend for her and be there for her. And what a blessing, Lynn, when you came into her life, and now she has someone to walk through the club that no one wants to be a part of, the Widows Club. But God says to take care of the orphans and the widows, and I'm beginning to see more and more the depth of what he meant by looking at you and others that have ministries to widows. And I thank you for what you've done for Joyce and the friend that you've become to her, because that was what she needed.
Yes, well, she's easy to love. She's easy to be friends with. But we met through Beauty by Fire. Brooke was just on here, on your show several weeks ago.
Yes.
And that ministry has helped me tremendously. I would not be as far along, I don't think, if it hadn't been for Beauty by Fire. in that ministry. So, that's how I met Joyce, was through that ministry.
It's powerful.
It
It is
is.
powerful, and you don't realize what all a widow needs.
Right.
Once everybody is gone, the funeral's over, life goes back to normal.
Right.
For everybody.
That's right. That's
not
right.
the widow.
But not for us. And that's one of the important things that you have to sort of realize, is that family and friends, they go back to normal, which is normal. They need that. But that's where you just have to pick up, and you have to trust the Lord that He is your husband, and that there is nothing that He cannot do. And what is so wonderful is, and I've written page after page in these journals that have become books, but just little testimonies of how He has ministered to me one-on-one. Clearly, in the first couple of weeks that Tim was gone, I cried 24/7. And so one particular Saturday, I guess he'd been gone about 2 weeks, and I was very upset with the Lord, very upset. And so I went outside, and when I have to really, really talk with the Lord, I stand between my 2 olive trees that I have growing in the backyard. And I stood there and I looked up into heaven and I said, "What are you going to do about this?" And I was referring to my broken heart.
Wow.
And absolutely, without hesitation, the Lord spoke right to my heart. And He said, "Lenny," He said, "you mourn for Tim for 30 days. And then you get up and you wash your face. And you go and do what I have called and anointed you to do." And I looked up and I said, "Yes, sir." And I went back in the house, and I took that word straight from the throne, and that's what I've been doing for the last 6 years, is going and doing as He has ordained. And it's been a journey.
Wow.
And I continue to journey on with Him.
That's amazing. We're running out of time, but what I'm excited about is to hear about these books that the Lord penned through you. And next week, we're actually going to talk about the first book, which is The Winter Widow. Okay. And I'm looking forward to that. There's a series of 4, like the seasons.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
And you have 2 that are in print.
Yes.
And a third one that's coming out when? Do you know when that's coming?
It's probably going to be maybe the winter and spring, rather, of 24.
Okay.
It takes a good while for the edits. So hopefully I'll get done by February or so of 24.
Awesome. Well, if somebody wants to buy your books, how can they get in touch with you?
Through the website. It's
Okay.
inthislifeministries.com, and the winter and spring books are on there for sale, and it's a little discount when I have events.
Okay.
So the winter book is probably going to be $8.
Okay.
And then the spring will be $13.
Awesome. Well, listen, you don't want to miss next week, because we're going to be talking about that first book that the Lord inspired her to write. And if you're a widow, or if you know a widow, you want them to watch this program next time. God bless you. We'll see you next time.